Hey guys, it's Heather here, and just like I promised, even before the update is gonna hit, I have a Town Hall 9 base design for you guys to try out that's been tested and hopefully get to defend really well against the new meta. Now, you know, every Town Hall 9 base can eventually be cracked for 3 stars, but hopefully you're gonna be able to hold off a lot of attacks with this base. And not only am I giving you a base just like I did on the Thumper base, but I'm gonna go into specific details on this base and why it works, and hopefully you can implement these ideas into your other bases as well. Now, this base also comes from Joshy. He's the one that did the Thumper base, and this base is, we're gonna call this the Bomb Tower Island, because we have 3 separate islands on this base, and one of them just happens to have the new bomb tower. Now, Joshy has been super cool. I've been talking to him about his ideas on how the bomb tower is going to affect the defensive meta and how to defend off certain attacks. So Joshy built me a base that he felt would hold up really well, and then I built it on the developer build, and then Clash Attacks with Joe. I'll definitely link to him down in the description below. You guys need to go check out his channel and go tell him thank you very much if you use this base, because Joe spent 2.5 hours trying to crack this base and break it and trying a ton of different attacks against it just for you guys. I'm going to be showing those attacks in the background, and when he was able to crack it with one type of attack, we would make adjustments to it. I would talk to Joshy about the adjustments, we'd adjust it. So there's been a lot of work that's gone into this base just to get you something that's ready to use right out of the gate, so you can get your base changed up now, so it's not going to be so easy for somebody to come in and just mass hog you. So right off the bat, as you look at this base, you can see in the center of the base there are 3 islands, and in some of these replays you might see where we had the bomb tower on its own island up in the north, and we moved an air defense into that island with it just to make sure it defended better against Gola Loon and other air attacks, and that held it off pretty well. So in addition to that, both the expos are in their own island as well, and then both of them have been set to air and ground. You could make one of those set to just ground and one of them set to air and ground, but I felt like I needed to set them both to air just to help prevent those air attacks a little bit better. It was originally set to ground to try and prevent the hogs, but we seemed to be able to take out the hogs okay. So now that it was set this way, it did really well defending against the Gola Loon. Some other key things to note on this base is there is a trash ring that goes all the way around the top north side. You can see the entire base is shifted towards the south, so that's where they're going to be attacking from. And then to actually clear the base in 3 minutes, they have to go all around the top sides. That whole northwest, northeast side all have trash buildings up there that have to be cleaned up. So even when Joe got really close, there were several times that he just simply ran out of time. And that trash ring on the outer perimeter is really going to help slow down those 3-star attacks. Now, some of you may be wondering why I have the town hall on the outside. I know I got questions about that in the Thumper base. This is an anti-3-star base. The only thing we care about is holding off the 3 stars. That's why we give up the town hall. It's a large structure, it has a lot of hit points, but we're going to put it on the outside so that we can have all that space on the inside to be able to create these areas where we can defend against the 3-star attack, which is really what matters, because anybody could really come in and 2-star any Town Hall 9 with a go wipe. So that's not what we're focused on. We're focusing on defending against these hybrid attacks, all these different creative attacks, and trying to keep this base from being 3-starred and forcing the enemy clan to use attack after attack after attack to get this base down. Another thing to point out with this base is there's no centralized clan castle location. We're basically giving up the clan castle and the queen in the south, but that's forcing them to attack from the south. So we're forcing them to come in from the south to take out the clan castle and the archer queen, but you can see there's really not a lot of buildings down there. And so we're giving that up in order to have all the power up in the north, so when their army is split up and they have to start sending in the hogs or whatever else they're using on the back end, they're just not going to be able to get through the rest of the base. Another thing to keep in mind with this is there is no double giant bomb on this base. All the giant bombs and the bomb tower are spread out. This base has about 7 or more hill zone areas where an attacker is going to need to heal their hogs, and that's why everything's spread out. We did also test it by putting 2 giant bombs bombs by the bomb tower, and that worked well too. If they're coming in from the north side though, they're not approaching the bomb tower in the right direction, but that's something you could play around with. If you wanted to use the double giant bombs there, I'll show you how I placed those and what giant bombs I took to place in that area. So by having the Tesla farm at 12 o'clock, either that's going to force the attacker to do a kill squad from there, or they're going to have to be able to know how to hog it. I really like how Joshy has set this up because it forces you to use a kill squad in the south, but there's so much firepower and so much junk in the north that you're really forced to split that army up. So, and if you don't attack from the south, then every angle that you approach the Archer Queen from is going to take jumps to get to her. Another thing to note with this base is that you want to use either a Hound or a Golem in the clan castle because it's going to slow down the kill squad. So this base is also about making the attacker run out of time. Now, some other cool things that you can take note of on this base that you can apply to other bases as you build them. All the regular bombs, just the bombs, are set around the perimeter of the base, and they're one space away from the wall. And they're specifically used here to kill wall breakers and cause entry issues for the attacker. Now, I already mentioned the giant bombs and how they're spread out, and that creates 7 or more hill areas throughout the base, but take note of those, how they're all in their separate compartments. They're spread out. Even though there are no double giant bombs and they're not doing as much damage to hogs, they're still going to have to use hills once they hit a giant bomb area. Other really important things to mention are the skeleton traps on this base. They are towards the perimeter in likely places where people are going to drop hogs right off the bat. You want to get those skeletons into the game right away and chasing those hogs down. So when they hit a giant bomb, those skeleton traps are able to pick off a few of the hogs before they're able to heal back up. That's definitely something Joe really struggled with on these attacks, is having those skeletons pop up right off the bat and chasing the hogs. And then lastly, one of my favorite features on this base is how he has placed the spring traps to target hogs and Valkyrie. Now, there are different ways that you can place your spring traps. Best types of springs are going to be the angled springs, a spring that can flip a maximum of 3 hogs, and as a builder, you always want to maximize on your returns. I'm going to show you an example here of 3 different types of spring placement. The bottom spring is the best angle of spring. It's the perfect 3-hog spring. You can always have your springs like this. The number 2 is your average 1 to 2 hog spring. It's okay, but nothing amazing, fairly standard. However, due to the way that other units move, like the Valkyrie and the bowlers, you have a higher chance of throwing the Valk and the bowlers with this type of placement than you would with the hogs. And finally, the top example is a happy medium between the first 2 springs. It's the most commonly used one to throw 2 hogs, and it has a decent chance of throwing those other troops too. Now, this is a Valk spring trap area. Valks will go in between the buildings, so springs work best when you use the middle example for this compartment. It's also a relatively concentrated DPS area. Now, this example shows you the makeup of a hog spring compartment. This shows you a path of how you would want to incorporate the highest spring value on the hog return. And you can see how the hogs have moved from one defense to the other and how they're going to catch those springs along the way. So eventually you may end up with a compartment that looks like this. Now, just a couple of the things I want to point out about this base. You can see there are seeking air mines on the outside in the south-north. Those are to take out either baby dragons that are helping with the funneling or take out a healer. Joe got caught up in those quite a few times. You can also see that over in the west side, there is the Barbarian King, and he's really shallow as well. Nobody's going to go for him right off the bat because they're going to be attacking the Archer Queen down in the south, but this is likely a pretty good place where people might try to enter with hogs. And so once the hogs take on a giant bomb, skeleton traps, plus a wizard tower right there, and then you have the Barbarian King that's able to one-hit them, you should be able to clear a lot of the hogs out of the way right off the bat if anybody tries to enter in the base from this west side. So definitely looking forward to your input on this, if there's anything that you do to change this up, how it performs for you in clan wars and in friendly challenges. Again, just thank you so much, Joshy, for doing this base for us. This really helps. I'm really excited about having these base designs right at the forefront of the update so you have a way to defend against what I'm expecting to be a lot of mass hog attacks at Town Hall 9. And then again, a huge shout out to Joe. definitely go check out his channel, drop him a sub, check out some of his videos. He had a lot of really great input while he was attacking this base, and he spent like over 2.5 hours with me working on this base and attacking it just so I could get this video out to you guys. So be sure and go send Joe some love, because he is a super cool guy, and there's no way I could have got this base to you guys today without him. Alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up for me. If you like this video, then like it. If you love it, double check and make sure you subscribe, and I'll be coming back at you again soon with more defenses, more attacks, and all this cool stuff that's coming out with the update. I am so hyped about Clash of Clans. I think this update has so many great things. I hope it's here. I hope it's here. I publish the video and then we have the update, and yay, everybody's happy. Thank you so much for watching, for being the best viewers anybody could ever ask for, and I'll catch you next time.